Crazy week in the world of WWE.
8 out of 10 week.
Oh my goodness. It's
crazy.
Yeah. This is a week that, really set up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I guess we'll start with, obviously, Monday Night Raw.
Okay.
The Raw after Clash at the Castle.
We'll save the best for last.
Yeah.
On Raw. And as I said, we're both doing our punishment.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We need it.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
We need to do the wheel for that. You want me to get that set up?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
But Monday Night Raw, I mean...
What can I say, man? Great show.
Yeah. What started off the show? I mean, the big hitters of the show was, Drew McIntyre. Let's start with just Drew McIntyre.
He quit.
He quit.
Well, apparently he said that, but SmackDown.
We'll see him later on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre. Can you blame him?
What can I say?
Can you blame him with what he's had to go through?
I can't. I really can't.
Yeah, everybody saw what Triple H said at Clash at the Castle, the press conference. He basically supported CM Punk in everything he was doing.
Yeah.
CM Punk went in there, Clash at the Castle, and cost Drew McIntyre the world title.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Definitely.
Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Drew McIntyre is honestly going to be probably one of the big points we're going to talk about this episode. Drew McIntyre. He had a lot of stuff going on this week.
Mm-hmm.
Another event that happened, Seth freaking Rollins.
That's what started the show.
Is back.
Yeah.
Crazy
setup.
Freaking Rollins. I did not expect Seth Rollins to come back.
No.
Completely caught me off guard.
At first, he decided, he was like, let's get in the Money in the Bank match.
He's like, I did it once.
Well,
Why not do it again?
And Damian Priest came out.
Yeah.
And he was like,
I'll just give you a title shot.
I'll just give you a title shot.
So Money in the Bank, Damian Priest, Seth freaking Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship.
Which, in my opinion, it would be a lot better to see Seth Rollins against Gunther at SummerSlam. Than
Gotta remember, Gunther is the challenger at SummerSlam.
Yeah. I feel like Seth Rollins is a better opponent for that match. Or we could have a Money in the Bank cash-in during Money in the Bank for that night.
So I don't think Seth Rollins will win at Money in the Bank, and we'll get to a little bit later as to why.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at this moment in time, it's official: Seth freaking Rollins, Damian Priest, Money in the Bank, which I think was a great choice, because you're thinking like, well, if Damian Priest is going to be champion at SummerSlam, how are we going to get him there? What storylines are we going to put him with? Who's he going to face? Building up to that, Seth Rollins is a great choice.
Yeah.
Great choice. We had some Money in the Bank qualifying matches.
That's right. We had Jey Uso.
Jey Uso in the main event won his triple threat match.
I want to point out which removes Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor from the picture.
Mm-hmm. Unless they do like a last chance kind of deal.
Maybe.
Where they bring in the people that have lost,
I'd like
possibly.
to see Finn Balor. I'd rather see all three of them in that match, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But right now, Jey Uso picking up the W, going to Money in the Bank. And then Io Sky picks up the win and looking to go back-to-back.
Who do you think on the Raw side will be in the Money in the Bank matches? I feel like it's
I know they've announced some matches for Monday. I can't remember who's all in them.
Me neither. But I have a feeling it's going to be Jey Uso.
I think Chad Gable might be in it. I could see
Chad Gable being in there.
Because he lost Intercontinental, and maybe Money in the Bank's the way he gets his title.
Maybe. If he goes for Intercontinental.
I've never understood, and we'll get to SmackDown in a bit, because LA Knight says something very similar, where he says he's going to win Money in the Bank and cash in on Logan Paul for the U.S. title. Which I'm just like... Because Austin Theory did it when he cashed in and tried to win, and I think he didn't succeed, but he ended up winning the title later.
We'll be talking about Austin Theory and his Money in the Bank.
I didn't really. I don't get it. I was like, if you have the Money in the Bank, go for the world title.
Yeah.
I just like whatever. But storylines, I get it, but whatever. But I think I could see Chad Gable being in the match.
Chad Gable, I could see Ilya Dragunov being in there.
Ilya Dragunov.
Braun Breaker, I feel like that's going to be him and Sami Zayn in their own little thing.
Maybe Braun Strowman.
Maybe Braun Strowman. I'd love to see that.
We could see
Ricochet's out of the picture.
Carlito.
I feel like we need at least one Judgment Day member in there.
They'll have at least one.
Is it going to be an 8 ladder match or a 6 ladder match?
6. I think it's 6. I think it's 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown.
So we already know Jay's going to be in there.
Jay's going to be in it for the men's. Io Sky's going to be in it for the women's.
Yeah.
Other women that could be in the match, maybe some more damage control people. Dakota
Lyra
Kai,
Valkyria.
Lyra Valkyria.
Who else? We got Haven Davenport. Is she in?
Blair Davenport.
Blair
She's on
Davenport.
SmackDown, but she could also be in the match.
Who is that other chick that's
Kiana James. She
That's
was the one that got pinned. She was in the match Monday. She got pinned by Io Sky. Again, they could do like a last chance kind of deal and get her in there.
Tiffany
Which
Stratton
I thought was really odd that they had. It was so the women's match, the triple threat was Io Sky, Zelina Vega, and Kiana James, which I thought was interesting. They had Kiana James take the pin, especially with her being a new young rookie on the main roster. When they want to try and protect her, even if they don't put her in the match, maybe try and protect her a little bit. She's not taking pinfall losses.
Yeah.
She's the one that even if she doesn't get pinned, she's not like losing some credibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But yeah.
We could see Braun. I mean, Braun Breaker could still be in the match.
Braun Breaker could.
Possible. They could put Sammy in it. I mean, he's the only Intercontinental Champion. He could still win Money in the Bank.
We could see.
New Day members, Final Testament members, Miz or R-Truth could be possible.
It could be either way.
Yeah.
I'd rather see a tag championship match.
Yeah.
At some point soon.
Speaking of tags and teams, Alpha Academy looks to be no more.
Crazy, yeah. Otis
quit. I mean, he packed up and left.
He didn't beat up Chad like we wanted him to.
No.
But he still packed up the bags.
He finally stood up. He says, "We're done."
Yeah.
He broke up with Chad Gable.
Chad Gable is all by himself, and we'll talk about that later.
We're gonna be a little more into Chad Gable.
Next, we see a lot of Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan stuff going on with the vest.
Getting a little hot in here.
I don't think that's PG.
I don't think that's PG. Getting a little hot in here. Damian Priest basically walked in on him.
Yeah.
Liv convinced Dominic to take the vest off of her.
He just wanted the vest, man.
Finn Balor said he took the key card to protect Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. I like how they pointed it out in the show.
Well, because all the internet saw, they're like, clearly.
Yeah, so they clearly had to say something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It's definitely set up for Liv Morgan to be in there. Damian Priest getting kicked out, in my opinion.
We're getting up to SummerSlam. I'm assuming Rhea hopefully will be back by SummerSlam.
Which would be
Liv
sick.
versus Rhea for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam.
There we go.
I think that
really sets up.
We've hit on everything except the one major thing, which I will let you hit on. We saw teases from the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
From the title opening.
Michael Cole is like, tonight's the night, right?
Tonight's the night, right? The countdown.
I like how they're even getting into the QR code stuff.
So,
they can't escape it.
After main event, Jey Uso wins. He's leaving through the crowd.
Lights go out, man. And
everybody's on their feet.
We hear boom. The piano
notes, the one note.
The one note that goes over. And I like how it didn't play the rest of the song.
Chills went up my spine.
It just played the one note the entire return, which made it cooler in my opinion. First of all, Nikki Cross.
Crawls out looking creepy as ever.
Unless she's changing her name. Who knows?
Who knows what their
They
names
all
are
could be
gonna be.
changing their name besides from Eric Rowan. I don't see why they're
We'll stick with Nikki Cross right now.
Yeah, Nikki Cross comes out in the veiled bride outfit.
Yeah. Sister Abigail kind of deal, maybe.
Goes up to the lantern from the door as well. So we're
we got the famous door opening.
Yeah, she comes out through the door, looking at the lantern, then points back. We go backstage. We go to the backstage area,
and it's destruction.
Absolute. It's a massacre.
It's a massacre.
Like he said.
There are security guys. I'm wondering where Triple H was in all this.
I thought Triple H was going to be on the ground during that. I was like, is Triple H?
Yeah, dude, I was looking. I was like, where's Adam Pearce? Where is everybody? Because there's security guys all over the place. There's production guys.
Yeah.
Backstage personnel.
We see a whole bunch of bodyguards and this whole pile of Eric.
We see a whole blood splatter on the wall next to was it Joe Gacy the one sitting up?
It was.
Which guy was it?
Dexter.
Was
Loomis
it Dexter
and
Loomis?
The crisscross. Because you could see the tattoo.
Yeah, that's how I was trying to figure out who was by the tattoos.
People thought that was Joe Gacy.
I thought it was at first.
I did too, but then as soon as I looked at that arm, I was like, that's Dexter Lumis.
Yeah. But you see like the blood splatter on the wall.
Yeah, we see Eric Rowan with that help hammer with the cool bunny mask.
Which I guess if you see the mask he has on the back, it's kind of
it's Luke Harper's.
Yeah, it's kind of call back to the Bludgeon Brother type deal.
It's Luke Harper's old Bludgeon Brother mask.
Yeah. So I love all the subtle callbacks.
I like how every single member is like their mask and their whole like outfit is like a persona of the puppets on the old Firefly Funhouse show. Eric Rowan is the bunny. Dexter Lumis sitting in that room with all the destruction.
Like electricity. It was like sparking.
Yeah.
Like it was insane.
The TV was like blinking from the WWE sign to the new symbol.
And what I loved about the whole return was the camera doesn't cut.
Yeah.
It's one shot the whole time.
One shot the entire time.
They go to one camera and the camera they probably are talking to him and saying, go here, go here,
they just put some fireworks on there, but
that's how we felt when watching this thing.
Hold up, let's all give an applause to that cameraman. The balls of a champion, bro. He has bigger balls than the Miz.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, dude, it was perfect. I would have loved to. Because you know what I bet? A lot of those production people were like the ones that helped set up the whole surrounding area.
Yeah.
And once they were like, all right, we're going to rig this up so it's sparking. We're going to destroy everything.
And we're just going to lay down.
And then we're all just going to lay down.
Massacre, what can I say? We saw Dexter Lumis as like the buzzard dude. Was that what his name was? Something like that. And then we saw...
there was like the pig.
The pig. It was like more of like a gas mask though, which also made it kind of cool. That was Joe Gacy. Then... Pans over to Chad Gable. Looked like he got shot in the head.
From my understanding, he's the only wrestler we saw which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, there was like this thing about like a hit list of him and like saying like using like clues and stuff like who he would go after and stuff.
There was something. It was like he was going to go after people
that are like liars and stuff
that betrayed their groups.
Yeah.
So Chad Gable, you could argue, betrayed Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Which brings me to. Which I'll hit on in a little bit later. We'll come back to it, but continue.
There was like a guy on the floor. Everyone's like, "That's Braun Strowman."
Yeah, it did kind of look like him, but
just because of the beard, his hair was not it, and he wasn't big enough to be Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
And then we see Uncle Howdy, and I do want to say his new mask looks sick. And we can actually see like his mouth a lot more, and we can see that he's using his mouth to talk more. Because the old Uncle Howdy, he just had his mouth closed the entire time.
It was hard to see him.
And we're definitely seeing a lot more Bo Dallas through this mask as well.
So the camera, goes all the way back to Uncle Howdy, and then they come all the way back out.
Yeah, and they're all like following Uncle Howdy.
Once Uncle Howdy passes one, they start following.
It was sick, bro. And then they all came back to the lantern. Uncle Howdy picks up the lantern. They're all like there with it. That pose was something you could put as a computer background, bro. It was sick. Then the last two words that we hear in the show, we're here.
We're here, and they blow out the lantern.
And then we see a whole jump scare thing that comes after that, like the logo and whatever, but it's sick.
This is going to be a ending of Raw that no one will ever forget.
Oh, yeah.
There's endings of Raw that you can remember specifically. Oh, it was this episode during this time because of it was so impactful. This is going to be one of those.
This is definitely
top 10. Top 10 greatest Raw endings of all time.
Yeah, if they're making this big of a deal where they're putting bodyguards into other shows and stuff, this group is going to be something.
I would say
it's not going to be another Final Testament or a New Day. This group is going to be big, massive.
We were like, oh, if they do this, I hope they do it right. They want it. We don't want them to like mess up and not deliver. I'd say they delivered.
They definitely
delivered.
Perfect.
It was perfect.
It was definitely.
Corey Graves said he cried watching it. He says it was exactly the way Bray Wyatt would have wanted it.
Yeah.
He's like, it was perfect.
I looked at like comments of the return video, and everyone's just saying like Bray would be so proud.
It was amazing.
And
from start to finish.
Dude, like the chills. I had chills.
Yeah, dude.
I had like as soon as I heard like the notes and the door opening, it just the entire time. it was one of the greatest returns on Raw.
Of all time.
All time. Yeah. Everyone was anticipating it. Everyone was ready for it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this, like you said, like they could have like rushed the return and stuff. Mm-hmm. This is exactly why.
Yeah.
What we saw here. This like would have made more of an impact if it was on Backlash or whatever, Crown Jewel or whatever.
They built it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Back to return. Yes, fantastic. Now, where do you go from here? What storylines do we go? Now, if you go back to Chad Gable, you have to believe they picked Chad Gable for a reason.
Yeah.
Now, from what I've seen, there's people who will be like, they're going after people that have betrayed their groups in the past. Which brings me back to Seth Rollins versus Damian Priest at Money in the Bank.
You told me about this.
Now,
we talked about this. This is a great theory.
I don't think Seth Rollins will win, and I don't think it'll be a clean finish. I don't think Damian Priest will just beat him. I think someone or some people are going to get involved. I think it will be the Wyatt Six, which I think would be a perfect first big rivalry for him, maybe gearing up for SummerSlam. And it would make sense if they're going after people who betrayed the groups. Seth Rollins betrayed the Shield.
Yeah.
It all would make sense.
I'd rather, as long as we don't get a Damian and Gunther match at SummerSlam.
You really don't want Damian and Gunther.
I really, like.
It's just, it
doesn't hit as hard.
There's more money you're going to make from Seth Rollins and Gunther or Ilya Dragunov and Gunther or who.
Yeah.
Or
there would be more viewers if it was a different
set. Honestly, I'd even just see if you can work it. Have Gunther go against Cody Rhodes for the WWE title, even if they worked it into somehow making that make sense. But I understand Gunther's on Raw.
Yeah.
But,
and speaking, actually, we'll talk about that later. But, yeah.
And Wyatt Six, yes, there's only 5 people, but I believe that lantern represents one other person, which is Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. People think it, represents, maybe Alexa Bliss is coming back, or maybe Braun Strowman's going to take that 6th spot.
I think that lantern represents Bray Wyatt.
Is the 6th person.
Yeah.
That's like Bray Wyatt.
It's very, very poetic.
Yeah. And I like how their name isn't Wyatt 6 as in the numbers.
It's like SICKS, Wyatt 6.
Which means they're all sick in the head.
They're sick in the head because they're crazy.
They're a cult. But I'm ready. Mm-hmm. I'm ready for Raw. I'm ready for SmackDown. Now the question for them is this going to be like a Raw group, SmackDown group, or are they just going to show up at both shows?
I would honestly like to see them just kind of terrorize everybody. Because who's going to tell them what show to go to?
NXT as well. Just beat them up in NXT.
And with TNA now, go to TNA. Go with TNA. That'd be so dope.
I'm loving this TNA crossover. Yeah. You want to go ahead and go to NXT and talk about that?
So I think we hit on pretty much everything on Raw. I would like to say when I forgot to mention Drew McIntyre, when he quit, he went backstage and he got in Triple H's face.
Oh, yeah.
So I just think that's important to note that
Now, with what happened on SmackDown, we can probably guess how it's supposed to be scripted.
Yeah, obviously. But Drew McIntyre,
it added a lot to it, Yeah.
NXT, I think is.
You want to just break it
down? So first match of the night is the Battle Royal to decide the number one contender for the NXT Championship.
Yeah.
We had TNA superstars. We had Frankie Kazarian, which I remember watching when I was younger. I remember watching TNA when I was younger and seeing Frankie Kazarian. So I was pretty pumped, and he hung in the match till the final
quite some
3, final 4 maybe,
something like that. I thought Shawn Spears was going to win that.
Another TNA star. Say his name, and he appears. Joe Hendry was there. And you saw that crowd go nuts.
Yep.
Now, he didn't last in the Battle Royal for very long.
It's 5
First one eliminated, and he was eliminated by Frankie Kazarian. Which is they're going at it on TNA.
Makes sense.
I think we'll see more of Joe Hendry.
Definitely.
They posted a video backstage from NXT of him kind of getting in Shawn Michaels' face because he wasn't very happy about it. And he's like, I'll show up on any show.
Yeah.
Raw, SmackDown. You could see Joe Hendry just pop up. But it came down to the final 2, the Battle Royal, Shawn Spears and Javon Evans. Javon Evans picking up the W.
Yeah.
Big win for Javon Evans. So it's as of right now, it's Javon Evans versus Trick Williams for the NXT Championship.
Can't wait for
in the future. That'll be a banger match. On the women's side, we had a triple threat tag match. I'm gonna forget whose team was on who, but the winners was Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice, and Roxanne Perez, after the match during the celebration, took a cheap shot at Lola Vice. It's looking like there's gonna be maybe like a 6-woman match for the NXT Women's Championship, which would be nuts.
Which would be nuts. I'd love to see that.
I see Lola Vice being NXT Women's Champion by the end of the year.
I could see that. Yeah, Lola Vice has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
With what we saw in that tag match as well.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just Perez.
Yeah.
And with that also happening, with it being specifically Lola Vice, I feel like it's going to be mostly between them two in that championship match.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We
had Kalani Jordan's first NXT Women's North American Championship title defense versus Michin. She won. Kalani Jordan picking up the W, and looking good. Looking to raise the value of that title, the lineage, create that lineage. We could see her going up against, I think, people like Ariana Grace potentially in the future. It's possible. It's looking like there's some trouble brewing in the what's the Dempsey's group's name?
Dempsey's?
Yeah. The people that are they just lost
Galax?
The Heritage Cup. They just lost the Heritage Cup.
Oh, the quarter catch crew, something like that.
No, is that what it is?
No quarter catch crew or something like that. That might be a different group.
That's look it up. That's Tyler Bates and isn't that Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne's?
That's like Drew Gulak. Tyler Bates and Pete Dunne is like.
That's no quarter catch crew, isn't it?
Hold up. You're thinking of New Catch Republic for those.
Yeah, so it is no quarter catch crew.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
No quarter catch crew.
They're similar names. They got similar letters.
Yeah, it has. Let me search the members. There's like 4 guys in that group, right?
3 or 4.
Charlie Dempsey, Damon Kemp, and Miles Bourne.
Yeah. Anyways, my point is there's some trouble brewing because there was some miscommunication in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
It's looking like, was it Nathan Fraser is going to be getting a Heritage Cup match in the future.
Former Heritage Cup holder, by the way.
He's and Axiom wasn't really too crazy about it.
Yeah, he's like, we should be focusing
on the tag titles. And he was a little upset that he was in the Battle Royal because Axiom wasn't in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
He was like, well, and Nathan Fraser's like, why wouldn't you want to be in the Battle Royal?
Yeah.
So we'll see if there's some ripples there. Main event was it was Ethan Page versus Javon Evans.
Mm-hmm.
And it all ended when Trick Williams was on commentary, and it all ended like in a big battle because Sean Spears comes out, Trick Williams gets in, all 4 of these guys are going at it.
Yeah.
So it's looking like a fatal 4-way is building up for all 4 men.
Spit out my gum.
Spit out your gum.
Keep talking.
Which, honestly, the ending was kind of dope because all 4 men were like in each of their corners, and then the NXT title was like in the middle. They're all like reaching for it. So you got like Javon Evans, Trick Williams, Ethan Page, and Sean Spears.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited they're getting Sean Spears in the main event this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pumped for that.
Sean Spears, they definitely need to push him up. I'm seeing a lot of potential in him. Mm-hmm. I thought he was going to win the Battle Royal. To be honest with you, it was the last 2.
But good for Javon Evans.
Yeah.
Which I'll be curious to see if surely they'll give him a one-on-one match because he did win because then what was the point of the Battle Royal?
Yeah.
If they just put 2 of the other men that were in the Battle Royal in the match anyways.
I feel like it should be a one-on-one.
But then I think eventually they will build up to a fatal 4-way. So maybe you do the one-on-one.
There's a lot of potential.
Maybe it ends in like a no contest or something because
Yeah.
both of the other guys get
There's
involved.
a lot of like potential storylines and matches we can see coming from this episode.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
I'm telling you, each show had its moments.
Yeah. Very impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Then is that all?
SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown.
SmackDown. Security was on high alert.
Oh yeah.
You had security around the commentary table, backstage.
Which I do like that they still showed some little teasers for Uncle Howdy as well. There was like his logo
Yeah, it was on like a wall.
on like a wall next to a bodyguard. That bodyguard could be involved. I'm just kidding.
Who knows?
We also get to see the dude that like helped Bray Wyatt like make his Fiend outfit was also there in like the back, and he was also the one that designed the mask for the new group as well. Good little Easter egg.
Little
right there.
Easter egg there.
Put him in there.
SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah.
Opening the show, Chicago's favorite son, CM Punk, was there.
Big surprise.
Big surprise. And you know what he did just the whole time? He did, before some other people came out, he did two things. He pandered to the crowd like he always does. Two, he just dissed Drew McIntyre the whole time.
Absolutely, and I'm guessing that pushed your marbles a little bit.
It pushed my marbles, I would say, a little bit. Because CM Punk,
You'd say he deserved what he got.
yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about what CM Punk gets later on in the show. But Paul Heyman comes out. And the crowd goes nuts because CM Punk is a Paul Heyman guy.
He was a Paul Heyman guy.
Oh my gosh. During his title reign, it was nuts. But Paul Heyman comes out, basically warns CM Punk that the Bloodline's going to come after him. 2, tells him to get out of town. 3, asks him to take him with him.
Ooh.
Solo didn't like that.
Well, I love to see a reuniting.
Yeah, I think everybody was pumped, and they were like, oh, okay, I'm down for this.
Yeah.
Solo comes out.
He's like,
Nah. And then Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa come out.
And we do get to see a new Bloodline member later.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll hit on that in a bit.
Yeah, big.
But
return.
these 3 guys, they're about to take on CM Punk. Cody Rhodes comes out behind with a bat, hands one bat to CM Punk. Both of them got bats. Bloodline's out of there.
Yeah, it's like
they're not handled. They're not going against that.
It's like Cody forgot about what happened at the Royal Rumble. You know?
Yeah.
I could definitely see a CM Punk and Cody rivalry coming up.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. That would be nuts.
Notes.
Nuts.
We should have a shirt that says that would be notes.
That would be notes.
And like have like something. What is there like something that's called like a note out there? You know, like a word.
A note, like a music.
Oh, like notes. We could put like music notes on there.
Let us know if you'd buy those shirts.
We'll have Reagan make a campaign for that.
There you go. But Bloodline gets out of Dodge.
Yeah.
And Paul Heyman looks scared, but he goes back with the Bloodline. CM Punk, Cody Rhodes go backstage. And that's the last we see them at this time.
Dude, I cannot wait for Roman Reigns to return, bro.
It's going to be nuts.
It's going to, like, I don't get why it wouldn't be SummerSlam, but I'm guessing they're, like, waiting a little longer, which makes sense.
Yeah. We get some more qualifying matches.
Yeah.
Andrade picking up a big win.
Yeah.
So Andrade, I'm excited. I'm a little
glad.
worried because when they put him on SmackDown, I was like, okay, what storylines are they going to put him? Because he's not with the LWO because LWO is on Raw.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I really hope he doesn't get like lost in the backfield, you know? He did just win the WWE Speed Championship, if anybody cares about that.
Yeah.
But
Ricochet
is heading out. Another person who is leaving, Kayla Braxton, is announcing that she will be leaving the company soon, which Kayla Braxton, all these years, hey, maybe one day she'll come back.
Yeah. Yeah,
hope she does well, whatever she does.
It's never over.
It's never over. Never.
Especially
never
Triple H being there. He'll accept anybody. We saw CM Punk come back.
Yeah. LA Knight eventually comes out and basically just says, I want Logan Paul in the United States Championship.
Yeah.
We hit on it earlier.
We'll see at SummerSlam. I'm calling it.
He's saying Money in the Bank. He's looking to win it all. he has a qualifying match next week. And one of the members in that match is Santos Escobar. Santos comes out basically saying, hey, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be focusing on Logan Paul. You should be focusing on me. Because he's like, I'm the one, I'm going to go to Money in the Bank.
I say if LA Knight does go into if he goes into the ladder match, don't have him win it.
You think?
I think that's a waste of a Money in the Bank contract right there.
Yeah. But for the most part of this promo segment, LA Knight is looking for Logan Paul. He was told that Logan Paul was going to be there. Didn't look like it until Logan Paul comes from behind and takes him out.
With the punch.
With the big punch. What's he got? He's got like metal in his hand or something? Is that what it is?
Probably.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That match is going to be a banger.
Yeah.
SummerSlam, United States Championship.
I'm ready.
Absolutely. So that ends it for that. For the women's qualifying match, huge upset. Chelsea Green picks up the W.
I'm seeing as like a punching bag for this match.
Maybe do some comedic stuff during the match.
Throw
I'm all
off
for
of
it. You know how I've definitely become a fan of Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green is good at what she does.
I think she's hilarious at what she does.
She's annoying, but that's what she's supposed to be.
She got the win over Bianca Belair, and I'm blanking on who the other third person was. It was the one she pinned, Michin. Which I'm surprised Bianca Belair is not in the match. That surprised me.
Bianca Belair has been losing a lot of upset matches lately.
She just lost the tag titles. Which I'm assuming we're going to get a rematch before too long. And maybe that's what we see at Money in the Bank. Because Jade Cargill has her qualifying match next week. Maybe she loses that too, and we see the rematch at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Another person who's going to be in a qualifying match next week, the United States champion Logan Paul, will be competing on SmackDown.
Yeah.
For that Money in the Bank spot.
Like we've seen before, he is very athletic and he is very good at Money in the Bank matches. I could see it happen. I could see like maybe him and then LA Knight like
going at it during the ladder match and just building that rivalry.
Or one of them makes it in and one of them's not in it, but they cost them.
There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Which I'd like to see. I'd like to see that because I don't want neither of them to win that. But,
yeah. Who do you want to win?
You know,
right now I'm going to say Jey Uso.
I'd say Jey Uso is probably the biggest.
I think now's the time you put him towards a singles
Whenever we see like who's actually going to be in this match, then I can make a prediction. Because right now I'm like, there's so many possibilities, you know, of like if it's going to be a Raw superstar, a SmackDown superstar, which champion should probably lose it to a main contract more. Definitely not Cody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
another qualifying match this past Friday, won by Carmelo Hayes.
Crazy match.
Carmelo Hayes picks up a sneaky pin victory over Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which, once again, Randy Orton, potential opponent for Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, with him looking at his title after the little dispute on Clash at the Castle. So, seeing a lot of stuff about that online, and I'm all for it. That would be a good challenger for Cody, and it's not one of those like challenges where like we know who's gonna win.
Yeah.
You know.
So who do we have in the men's match so far? We have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, and
that's it. I'm pretty sure.
Is that it? Was there? Why does it have balloons? There's balloons too. There's all this stuff.
I think all of our hand signs are just like
it's something with the hand signs. Was there not one more? Or am I blanking on something?
There wasn't any more in Raw.
No, yeah, there was just the one, and then there was. Was there another woman's? We had Chelsea Green win.
Let me see. This is why we have internet, people.
This is why we have internet. But the main event was Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Solo had a little bit of a talking with Paul Heyman backstage. And Paul Heyman just looks like he's scared to death. And we're going to hit on the other event that happened, I think, at the end, because I'll have a lot to say about that. But match didn't last for very long.
Yeah.
Because of the debut of Jacob Fatu. New Bloodline members. There are now 4 members in the Bloodline, all just dangerous, dangerous men.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu just looked like he was freaking nuts. Out of his mind. Paul Heyman looked scared to death. You know, who's going to be able to stop Jacob Fatu?
Yeah, we have... so far, we just have Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, and Andrade for the men.
Andrade, that was who won the other one.
Yeah.
I was like, I swear we just talked about it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
What about the women's?
They defeated Kevin Owens and Grace Waller.
Yeah.
They're out of the picture.
Yeah, Austin Theory was not there that night.
Randy Orton and Tama Tonga are out of there.
Yeah.
And like before, Rey Mysterio and Finn Balor. But next...
the women's?
The next qualifying match on Raw would be Braun Strowman, Dragunov, and Reed.
Yeah. Who are in the women's match?
We have Io Sky and Chelsea Green.
Just, okay.
Yeah.
Austin Theory was not at SmackDown. It's looking like a heel or face turn for Austin Theory.
I'd love to see that. I can't see...
Because I see him and Grayson Waller as the future top guys.
Yeah, definitely. Austin Theory especially.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot from him, and with the Money in the Bank contract.
Yeah. Beat John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
What can I say? What do you think about Jacob Fatu? Dangerous.
More power to
Dangerous.
the Bloodline. And I see
there are now 4 members of this new Bloodline.
more possibilities for Survivor Series.
War games.
War games.
Be nuts. Bloodline versus Bloodline.
Or we could have a Survivor Series with TNA.
That's another one
and
you brought
WWE.
up. If they don't do Bloodline versus Bloodline, a WWE versus TNA War Games match would be nuts.
We could have like tag team champions versus tag
team champions. Yeah.
Women's.
Yeah.
We could see so much out of that.
So much out of
if
that.
Triple H can make that happen, props to him.
Do it. One last thing that I wanted to say for the end, SmackDown. CM Punk.
Yeah.
Was left
absolutely.
A bloody mess.
Which, once again, I texted you this. I'm glad that we're seeing more blood in WWE.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre showed up.
Yeah.
They had like this garage door. We heard some banging, and it starts to come up, and we just see CM Punk on the ground, bleeding all over.
Drew
McIntyre standing above him. Picks him up. Fireman carries him all the way out to the crowd and just lays him. Keep in mind, we are in Chicago.
Yeah.
Lays him out and leaves him in front of his hometown crowd. CM Punk gets put on a gurney and taken away.
I'm sure you're happy about it.
And CM Punk got exactly what he deserved.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre should be the world champion.
It's about time we see Drew getting his hands on Punk.
Yes.
It's about time.
I'm calling it. Rivalry of the year.
I'm calling it.
Drew McIntyre and CM Punk.
Yeah. I say after this rivalry, CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Mania.
Yeah,
Mania. Seth Rollins being the champion, I'd say.
Maybe CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Or CM Punk is the champion, Seth wins the Rumble.
We talked about this before. I think Gunther should win world title at SummerSlam. Ilya Dragunov wins the Royal Rumble.
That would be sick.
Them two at Mania.
That would be sick.
That'd be a nuts match.
I'm ready.
We got some time till then, though.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time.
Things could change like that, you know?
Let me hear your top 3 moments from this week. Start from number 3.
Number 3.
From all this whole week. Because it was a huge week.
Yeah. Dude, there's so much. I'd say the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk thing that went on SmackDown.
That was nuts.
That was number 3. Number 2, Seth Rollins' big return. Number 1. I don't even got to say it. Why at 6?
Why at 6? Yeah. I think mine's pretty similar.
Yeah.
I may switch Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre just because I love Drew McIntyre.
You like Drew McIntyre, yeah.
But the why at 6 is perfect.
Yeah.
It was absolutely perfect.
You know that meme is like
perfect.
It was perfect.
Perfect.
Every bit.
That's how I felt.
If we can get that on the YouTube video.
It was perfect.